Hey y'all! Welcome back to the F&M Radio Podcast. It's your girl Faith.
And I'm Natalie.
And welcome to episode 10, y'all. We finally hit the double digits. We finally hit the double digits. Girl, how you feeling?
It's been a day, y'all. It's been a day for both of us. But good energy, good vibes for our special guest.
Yes.
Okay.
Special guest.
Yes.
So in order to see who it is, y'all gotta stay tuned.
Keep watching.
Hey y'all, welcome back.
Welcome back to episode 10.
Yes, and we have our special guest, Miss Brionne.
Miss Brionne.
Hey girl.
What's going on?
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Okay,
Good.
we love to hear that.
So we just gonna get right into it, okay? Miss Brionne, don't play with her. Do not play with her. Don't want to be playing with her.
You do not want to play with her. If you follow her on Instagram, you do not want to play with her. She's not the one to try, y'all.
Exactly. So we about to get started. We about to see what all Miss Brionne is about, okay?
Mm-hmm. All right. So I got the first question for you. So, who is Brionne Davis?
So, Brionne Davis is basically a woman who wants to take charge. She's a woman who wants to be her own first responder. I choose not to wait on nobody, no man, no woman, no one else to protect me. I choose to be in the forefront, basically, and also even telling other women they need to do the same.
Yes.
We need to do the same. We need to be here to be the ones to protect ourselves because no one else is going to do it. Right now, so many women are being targeted, and I want us to be the ones to understand that we need to protect ourselves.
Yeah, especially nowadays because, like you said, women are targeted like the most, especially just driving on the freeway, just, minding our business, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Right.
And the police nowadays, I'm sorry if we have police followers, but New Orleans East, when we talk about it especially, is very sad.
So this is the thing that I like to explain to people that honestly, by law, police don't have any obligation to protect the individual. Supreme Court has already declared that, which is why they take so long to come, because they're not obligated to protect the individual. They're obligated to protect property and basically governments, the public.
Wow.
So if it's not dealing with the public, then basically they can take as long as they want to. Individually, you have to be the one to protect yourself. Supreme Court has already ruled that, and a lot of people don't even know that that's even a law.
Did you know that?
No.
I did not know that either. We just learned something new today.
Right.
And I'm sure, like you said, we don't know. So imagine how many other people that don't know, because you just think of the police like, oh, they're here to protect, they're here to serve, but I never knew that.
How long has that been like that, for one?
It was either 83 or 93.
So that was a long time ago.
Right.
Wow.
So, it was Wade versus the District of Columbia. So look up Wade versus District of Columbia, and you're going to actually find that article where Supreme Court literally stated that police have no obligation to protect the individual.
Wow.
I got homework to do.
No, seriously.
We definitely have homework to do. Because
that's why I'm always pushing it. I'm always pushing protecting yourself.
Yes.
They don't have to.
Yes, and I love your page because it's very it's extremely informative, and even with the TikToks, and I love it. If y'all don't follow her,
please follow her.
We're gonna get her information at the end. But y'all, that's crazy. That's really crazy. So, how long, or no? Let me say this: what made you get into teaching women or people in general about gun safety?
Well, my background is corrections. I worked at Orleans as a deputy, then I worked at Bridge City also as a staff, because they don't consider themselves deputies because juvenile is therapeutic in Louisiana. So I worked with juveniles and realizing how much they're into guns. They are really into it. Very, very much into it. And people don't understand that it's okay for them to be into it, but the issue is the fact that we do not get them the proper training behind it.
Right.
I always explain that to parents that, children can be into guns. A gun is a tool. But they need to learn, they need to understand that it's a tool. we have a issue within our community when it comes to firearms, and we need to take that back. We have to change the narrative, which is what I'm here to do, and that's what I wanted to do. So I thought about it, and I said, well, how can I change this narrative? How can I get people more involved in firearms in more of a positive aspect versus a negative one? Because we have a community of women that's terrified of guns.
And it is scary.
Yeah, no, it is.
It is scary, especially the thought of having to think about what could happen. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people, they don't know the law. So it's like, okay, if I do have this gun and I do pull this trigger and I do hurt somebody, like,
I know.
What now?
So this is the thing when I explain to people, they say, well, I'm terrified of a gun. I ask them, okay, so how many car accidents you been in? And majority of us have all been in a car accident.
Right.
And I ask them, well, did you get a rental car after that car accident? Majority of people get a rental car after and say, right, but you could have died in that car accident, but it didn't stop you from getting a rental car,
Right.
How many people been in a shootout?
Not a lot. I'm questioning. That's the question.
But you're scared of a tool that possibly can also kill you the same way a car can as well. But you're scared. Like, what are you scared of? So not to be scared of the gun, be scared of the person that's behind that gun.
That's
because the gun itself can't do anything without intent behind it.
Right.
Unless that trigger is pulled, what are you scared of?
Right.
So I always kind of like break it down in more of an aspect so people can understand that you're really scared of that person, not that gun. Because outside of that, guess what? If that person want to still do harm to you, they want to do it. Because hands and feet is a weapon too, not just a gun. A knife is a weapon. A flamethrower is a weapon. A machete is a weapon. Like they have all these different type of weapons, but yet you're just scared of this particular one for a reason. So I'm always, let me say, I always break it down in different ways, and I want people to get out that mindset of being afraid of it. I know.
That's a good reference though.
Right.
You have to get people to think about that, because it's just like now in the days we're living in, and then New Orleans with the crime and stuff like that, it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
It's only getting worse. So the measures we have to take to, like you're saying, you still got it. You got in that wreck, but then you went and got a rental. But I do agree with you when you say a lot of people are scared to get a gun because of the person who's behind that gun. And I think a lot of people don't talk about that a lot. You get the gun, like some people do get the gun, and you just like. And this was a question I actually had for you, because I was talking to somebody and I was telling them, how I'm bringing her on. She does firearms, and they were like, you should ask her what advice would you give to somebody that wanted to buy a gun that wasn't a gun owner. And they actually told me they were like, because what did they say? It was my trainer actually, and he was just like, because once you buy that gun, you got to be ready to shoot it.
So the first thing I tell them is to do research. That's first and foremost. You do your research to make sure that you have the right gun for yourself, because there's so many guns out there. We don't just go and buy a car, right? We automatically just then think about, okay, what type of car I want, what
test
fit
drive,
me, or test drive it. So when it comes to a gun, you have to get the gun that you can handle. A lot of women, we're geared towards what men tell us to do when it's time to get a gun. It happens every time. So most women, they get guns, they don't even know what they're looking for. They just know their brother say, well, my brother said get a Glock. It's never what you actually really want. So doing your research is first and foremost. And second of getting proper training. Because the same way we train, going to a proper trainer when it comes to exercising and health and things of that nature, the same way when it comes to getting a gun. You have to train with it, because just having that tool is not going to save your life. Actually knowing what to do when it's time to do it is what's going to save your life. So outside of even having that gun, I tell people mentally preparing yourself. You can have a gun and not be mentally prepared. So many women have been in carjackings who would say, well, I had my gun, but it was in my purse. Well, I had my gun, but it was in the glove department. Why won't you already prepare for this? See, me, I prepare every time I go somewhere.
I see you got your clothes in.
I'm always prepared. I think about these situations when I'm driving somewhere. Okay, so this happened, what I'm going to do. If that happened, what I'm going to do. Majority of the time, I even to think about if my daughter's with me. I have a 7-year-old. I even have her trained to her. If I say get down, get down. She know the sternness in my voice to know if I say get down, I am going to shoot. Because I have to be prepared for all of this. And I want a lot of women to understand you have to be prepared mentally, way more physically. Because guess what? Scared people kill people. way more than somebody who's actually prepared, because someone who's prepared, they know what to do not to even put themselves in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm always thinking about this. I pay attention to people who are around me. I pay attention to all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I tell people, when you buy that gun, you're not buying it for yourself. You buy it for everybody around you, because you're responsible for every bullet that you let out that gun.
And it's like driving.
Right.
You're not responsible. Like, you have to pay attention to everything else that's around you. You're not just driving for yourself.
It's the same way when it comes to a gun, because a bullet doesn't have a name.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do not properly train with that firearm, that bullet will go somewhere else other than your target, which could be your attacker. So if your attacker is right in front of you, but you don't know how to properly handle it, you hit the person behind them. Outside of that, now you probably get charged with something or sued, because both of those things can happen in the midst of self-defense. You can get sued or you get charged because you didn't handle that firearm properly.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that goes into play. All of it.
It's a lot to think about.
It is a huge responsibility.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. It's a very huge responsibility. So I take what I do extremely serious. I don't take it so it's like, oh, I'm just doing this.
Right.
No, I'm not. I don't feel as if I'm just, just showing someone how to use a gun.
I think your Instagram, not to cut you off, I think your Instagram shows that you're really passionate about what
Yeah, for sure.
I am.
For sure.
Because
For sure.
this also results in me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's personal at the same time, because as y'all see, I'm small. I'm a small stature female.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really allow nobody within get that close to range to me if I feel as if I could be in potential danger.
Mm-hmm.
I tell it to a lot of women too. You need to learn to feel your environment. You need to understand who's around you and everything. I don't like people getting too close to me if I feel as if they're going to cause some type of harm to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. I try to control my environment to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Now, of course, sometimes things don't always go the way you want it to go, but you can always control it if you're already prepared. You have to be 2 steps ahead of your attacker, because if we're not paying attention, they are.
Yeah, and I like that. I really like what you have going on, because stalking your page. Stalking your page is, you don't only offer the trainings for, the gun, but you actually offer the trainings like, okay, what if an intruder came in, or, all these different type of things. And I really like that, because it's all different situations. It's not just a one and done type of situation. There's a lot of things that can happen and you never know. Like, you never know. So I really like that. I really like that.
Right. So with home defense, children handgun safety, I offer all those classes, because all of that is necessary, not just personal. Because guess what? Home invasions happen too. And some people don't know what to do in the middle of a home invasion. Majority of home invasions actually happen from people who've been inside your home already. And some people don't even understand that it's somebody who's been inside your home, but actually know how it's laid out.
Right.
Like, it's always in that nature, because they have to know how it's laid out. They're not just going to just come in because they don't know where you're coming from, right?
Right.
But it's someone who's probably been in your house before. And I always explain to people, you got to watch who you let into your home. You got to watch so many different things. Yeah, you have to watch so many type of things. Especially being women, like, we have to watch everything.
Yes.
It's hard being a female.
Like,
it really is.
It really is.
And I just understand that it's very, very hard. Like, even men who get money a lot, it's hard being them, because they gotta watch their back.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, honestly, it's very hard in this world, because you got people who are watching and paying attention every avenue.
Yeah.
So trust me, I'm always on these different type of times. I really am.
Yeah. That's crazy, but it's crazy, because that's how me and my boyfriend are. We don't really have people come over. Like, we literally probably had like one or two people come over, because it's like, you can't trust everybody. You can't be friends with everybody, because everybody has, and this is just even besides guns, like, everybody has, well, somebody, not a lot of people have your best interests at heart. So it's like, you can't be too trusting. Yeah.
And even with people, because you never know, a lot of people have alternative motives.
Yes.
They watch your pockets. They watch everything that you're doing and what's going on and stuff like that. And I realized when you were working hard, like, you're probably struggling on the outside, and you probably ain't letting them know on this episode. But to them, you just look like you got it going on.
You money bag.
Right. They don't see any of this. But that's the thing, though. People, they peg you, they look at you, they watch you. And trust me, I'm very limited when it comes to that. I'm very limited to friends, all of that. Like, I understand. Trust me.
So, how long have you been certified?
Certified with everything, I'm going to say 2 years. I just finished a Firearms Instructor program where I actually got probably 15 different certifications.
Oh, well, congrats on that.
Right.
Thank
We
you.
love giving flowers. Congratulations. Okay, so certification. So how many certifications do you have? Just is it multiple or is it? Like,
It is.
It's multiple.
It is, because I'm not just certified in basic pistol. I'm certified in rifle, shotgun protection, inside the home protection, outside the home. Like, I actually have so many certifications. I even know how to load my own ammunition, so I know how to make ammo. I know how to use a muzzle loader. Like, I'm certified in that. So we ever got to go back to Civil War times. I can bring it back to Harriet Tubman times. I promise I got you there too. Like, I actually can do all of that. So I'm actually certified a lot. So I'm NRA certified, USCCA certified, Louisiana State Police certified.
Okay, you doing your thing.
Yeah, I have a lot of certifications.
You definitely doing your thing. Because I didn't even know they had that many certifications. You teaching us a lot.
Yes, it's really a lot, but it's not within our community, which is why people don't know about them.
Right, because people are just, picking up guns, getting guns.
Right.
But, you're not thinking about all these, like you said, you got all these certifications. I didn't even know they had that many. But, oh my God.
So as far as the certifications, with the certification that you have, do you plan on teaching classes for each of those certifications that you have, or no?
No, honestly, I do. So outside of all the certificates I have, I really want to bring all of this knowledge that I've gained. I want to bring to other individuals, especially within our community. And being able to reload your own ammunition is big in the can. Because see how during COVID, when they had that ammunition shortage and all of that going on, we had people just buying the products to just do their own stuff. So I want to be able to bring that to our community, because I actually had a few guys reach out to me. Once I got the certificate, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, how do you do this? I want us to do this. When do you want to do this?" But the really getting all the products is extremely hard to get. Yes, it's so hard to get. I didn't even know that was even a thing, to be honest, until I started doing my research and I was introduced to this program. Like, people make their own bullets. Like, I didn't know that, but they do, and that's extremely important to know how to do. You have to know how to do those type of things. Right now, we have a lot of young kids. You have to be 18 to buy a rifle within the state of Louisiana. So right now, we do have a lot of young kids handling rifles, right? So I'm certified in that. That type of class I want to push off as well, because I want more individuals to know how to even use that. They need to know how to use that type of stuff. Like, these are things so I want to push. I want us to be proficient in. I want us to actually understand these things. We need to understand it, because there's nothing wrong with us being introduced to all of this. It's about having the proper knowledge and training behind it.
Yeah, because nobody teaches you this. I feel like the fundamental things in life are not taught in school.
It's
not, like, people gonna need to protect themselves. You're gonna need to know about financial literacy. You're gonna need to know about all these things, but they're never taught to us. So it takes one person, you being that person in this category, to, then extend your hand. You taught yourself all this, you learned all this, and then extend your hand back out to people so they can learn. Because we do need to learn these things, because it's essential to life. Being able to protect yourself, especially like we said in today's days.
It really is. I promise it is.
I have a question for you. I know you said you were a deputy. We're gonna go back to before, business and firearms. So, were you ever scared or nervous to deal with firearms before, like?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
I'm not even. And honestly, I did not grow up with a firearm within my household. Probably until I was like 16, 17 when we first seen a firearm within our household. And I always explain it to people, because you have a lot of people who get guns very early and they try and hide it from your children. And I'll tell them, first off, kids are nosy. They go throughout the house, they look for everything. And I say, we didn't get one in our house. I was 16. I know that because I always looked around the house. Outside of looking around the house, I seen it, I looked at it, oh wow, that's a big old gun. And I put it back. Because of course, as girls, we're not intrigued the way that boys are. Right. So we're not intrigued by that. But outside of that, we didn't grow up with them. So I never had a reason to be scared of them. I didn't grow up in an environment of being, traumatized by them. I knew what they were. I understood what they were supposed to be used for. I wasn't traumatized. And I got my first gun when I turned 21. So I've had one ever since I'm 30 now. Well, 31, because until I'm 31. So I've always actually had one. I got more serious within the last few years, but I've always had one.
Okay. So do you think there's a such thing as say for example, if the community has all this knowledge and, this knowledge gets into the wrong people's hands, do you think about that, or do you think that's something bad for people to have as much knowledge as they need to with guns?
Yes and no, because I feel like you can use knowledge to benefit you in the wrong way. I would say that. So I'm gonna say yes and no, because guess what? We're the only community that deal with gun violence.
Right.
So within the white community, firearms is part of their lifestyle. Is hunting, all of that type of stuff. They deal with guns. They grow with them within their household and everything. So I mean, if you want to look in the same aspect, it's really about the individual, because we're the ones we're being plagued with it because we don't have the proper knowledge and training. I'd rather someone have proper knowledge and training and know how to accurately do it than not, honestly.
Yeah, because they do be having a lot of gun violence to where, like you said earlier, someone like they're shooting, but they're not even hitting the target that they were supposed to.
Right,
and
that's the issue. Right, see, that goes back to not proper training. Because back then, gangsters, they trained their shooters. They had one particular person who was a shooter. They trained them. They did what they were supposed to do, and that was that. Now everybody want to be a chief. Nobody want to be an Indian. Therefore, everybody feel like they could be the shooter.
Yeah,
that's not how this works, because that's what innocence are getting played. Kids and older people was untouched at some point, and now everybody's being touched.
Yeah,
no one is off limits because nobody took that proper training. Like, y'all just need proper training, okay? Y'all just hit y'all target. That's what matters.
Yeah,
like, there's no reason to go to the second line. You see your outfit now, you want to shoot everybody up. Like, that person ain't got away. They sitting there all on TikTok. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Like, and that's how they are, though.
Yeah.
That's
really how they are.
That's real.
There's no way they should be that way. But that's what's going on.
Yeah, that is what's going on, though. But that's crazy.
Good shooter.
Okay, so tell me about being a deputy. Was that something that you like? Was that something that you like? What made you get into being a deputy?
So I have my degree in criminal justice, and I actually wanted to go through all of the corrections, courts, law enforcement. I wanted to do all of that, but I really did like corrections.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of gravitated towards it because it's own mini world. And people don't understand that. So being a deputy is not as hard as people think, but you do have to have the mental capacity for it, because you do experience a lot being a deputy. So first and foremost, you know how they'll always sit there and say, yeah, because I got 3 years with the good and all that lingo. You start to understand, you start to learn, and outside of the time that they catch, it's like basically you're in there half the time they're in there as well, because you're locked down too. When they get locked down, you get locked down. So you have to deal with half the stuff that they deal with. You got to sit there and look at what's going on. You have to sit there and pay attention to it. Like, I actually learned how to really watch my environment and situational awareness within the jail. They taught me the best way possible, because you can literally sit there and see when something about to happen. You already see who got what about to be done, who about to probably get shanked. You see all of that. So you really learn how to pay attention, because it's a world that you're looking at from a different perspective. I enjoyed it, honestly.
So you were with juveniles, you said?
So when I worked at Orleans, I worked with adult males.
Adult males?
Yeah, I worked there 2 separate times. So I worked on low and medium, and then I worked on max when I went back. Max was kind of hard, because their perspective is like, I can't curse. So their perspective is like, girl, look, I got 20 years looking. I'm not worried about you.
Girl, so say whatever you want.
Yeah,
first of all,
free speech. Free you need to curse. You good.
Like, when you're working on max, they looking at you like, bitch, I'm about to serve 20 years. Like, what you
they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
You have them literally hopping on tables. They don't care.
Oh my God.
Right.
You different.
Do you feel like that made you like mentally strong though?
Yeah.
Like really like
it did. And it's that's traumatizing to deal with, because as a female, it's like, you're basically raping me.
In the mind.
And you don't even realize it. Like, it's very traumatizing being a deputy, especially being a female. Yes.
That's crazy you said that, because I recently watched a TikTok, and it wasn't here, but it kind of like, she had went viral, and it was a deputy. And she said that they had a lockdown. And I was so intrigued, because she said they had a lockdown, but she was like literally telling TikTok how she was like traumatized, because during this lockdown, she's like, they all on lockdown. They basically like had her in a corner. basically, and she was just kind of like fearing for her life. And she said, I think she said she had like a shank or something, and she was just kind of like, you know, like, y'all don't come near me. But it wasn't like they were really like, they didn't really care.
Right.
And it was kind of like, I was just like, oh my God, I even clicked on her page and like just to see how she was doing, like give an update, because it really went viral.
Wait, so they were loose?
Like, oh yeah, they went on lockdown. So give us an explanation of like what lockdown is for people that don't know.
Okay, so of course they all have their cells. You have your pod that you go on and you're able to let them out. And when you let them out, you're basically letting out probably 60 people at one time. So they're basically letting out 60 people at one time. If a lockdown happened and your inmates don't respect you to the point to where you tell them go back in their cell, all hell can break loose. So they're not going to sit there and listen to you. They're not going to pay attention. They're going to basically go against all of that because it's a dog-eat world in them. Like, that's why I say it's a whole other environment in them. It's something to where they forget that they're human sometimes. And it depends, because the way that they have to live, the way they have to survive, could have to adapt to their environment.
Yeah.
So some people who might be, you know, different within us, they're different in them. Because they have to survive in a whole completely different way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, when I dealt with lockdowns, it wasn't bad for me because I gained the respect for my inmates and they gained the respect for me. So if a lockdown ever occurred, they know they go in their cell. Now you have your ones who don't want to go directly in their cell, they won't go in somebody else's cell. But if you knew this person, you understood, okay, well look, just as long as I do my head count, I know you have, okay, go ahead.
Right.
I mean, it depends on how you interacted with them though. So I don't know her perspective. I know my perspective, I didn't really have too many bad perspectives. It was kind of hard when I went back, you know, in the Max side, because it was a completely different animal. But once they understood me and I understood them, it was different. Because honestly, you can't go in that type of field and just go for a paycheck. That job you cannot do for a paycheck. You have to actually want to be there in order for it to be smooth sailing, to be honest. I didn't have issues like that. Now, juveniles, they was on an animal.
Really?
They was on an animal. Oh my God.
You were with boys or girls?
Boys.
Boys?
Yes. Now,
was it always boys throughout your career?
Yes,
Okay.
it was always. So, with women, and the thing, women in corrections, they're hard. Because women, they feel a need to really be all in your face. If you're a pretty girl, you're so pretty, girl. They just want to touch you. They want to. Men, they I'm so serious. Like, men, they honestly, you tell them to step back. Majority of them will. I'm not going to lie and say they won't. Majority of them will. Like, you rarely have a few who like kind of like cross that line to get too close in your personal space. Now, females,
yeah, they'll do it.
Now, y'all know how females are catty. So it's very, very different. Females are catty. So being around females is completely different. So I promise, I'd rather be around females. I promise. But with the juveniles, it was so hard. Oh my God, because they already don't trust.
Yeah.
Their wall is already up. Like, you know, with men didn't already pass that barrier.
That stage.
But juveniles is harder. Like them, oh my God, you cannot get me to want to be in someone locked down with them.
They didn't listen?
No.
I can see it. Because, you know, they at that young age where it's just like, you can't tell me nothing.
Right.
You know, like, you're not about to tell me nothing.
And that's how it was. I'm surprised I didn't get fired from there because I actually did get hauled up into it with one of them where he literally took my book bag, and so everything had to be clear. He took my bag, he threw everything out, and he pissed in my bag. Right. So at that point, I then lost all type of everything. I went tushy. Like, I jumped all his window. I jumped on his bunk. I took everything off. I went to ripping up his pictures. Like, at that point, like, let's get it. Like, let's go.
Now the disrespecting already.
Right. Because they don't understand boundaries.
Yeah.
Whereas with adults, they will get it. Because you only got to be cool. One adult on the, like, you know, with the adults. And the rest of them will follow.
They don't gravitate towards
Yes, because they understand, okay, well, look, she ain't bad, she this, she really that for us. Like, you know, she made sure I had all my stuff. Like, just need one just to be there on your corner and everybody, like I said, they will gravitate.
Yeah.
Juveniles,
I can see it. Because they at that age where it's just like, you know, if you have younger brothers and, so, you know, younger siblings, they all at that age where it's just like, you're not about to tell me nothing.
Right, you're not my mom.
Let me tell you, waking them up in the morning, we had to actually put on Young Boy to wake them up.
Not a young boy.
Yes. So, if like, literally, that was the way we woke them up. They had to be up and ready by 8 o'clock. So, guess what? 7 o'clock, put on a certain song, all you see is heads just starting to bob.
I believe it.
And then next thing you know, like they cover stuff to come off and they jumping up, they just rapping and everything. Like that's what we literally had to put on Young Boy to wake them up. And they woke up, they started their day off, and all right, we got them together. It was sad we had to do that, but we did.
Right. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
Like,
You gotta do what makes it work.
Exactly.
So how do you said about establishing authority and them respecting you. So how were you able to get them to respect you? So, whenever, if there was a lockdown or there was a serious situation, you were able to establish your authority and, they were able to listen. How were you able to get to that point?
First off, giving them their respect as men. That's first and foremost. Because if you're going to talk to them as if they're not human and they're not men, then they're going to come back tenfold. Like they come back.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, giving them their respect. First thing. So once you establish that and let them know, look, I'm here to do my job. I'm here to make sure that you get everything you're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. Because in actuality, you're working for them. And people don't understand that you're working for them. You're making sure that they have everything, their basic needs, mm-hmm. to make sure that they thrive throughout that time that they're there. You work for them. Mm-hmm. So giving them their respect, making sure that they have everything they're supposed to have. Like, honestly, I did go over and beyond for a lot of my inmates because I wanted them to understand that this is my job. You're all supposed to have, the basic stuff. Your underwear, your toothbrush, toothpaste, your soap, your toiletry, all of that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. You had deputies who never gave that stuff to them. Mm-hmm. So imagine inmates who come in there who don't have family on the outside to put money on their books. Right. So they can't buy it. They need that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. I made sure every inmate had their breakfast and their lunch and all that type of stuff. That type of stuff they're supposed to have. Now, if you're going to eat it, that's on. I don't care if you don't eat it, but I gave it to you.
Right, but I can't say I didn't.
Right, and that's how you get them to gravitate to
exactly.
you because you show that you care.
Exactly.
Because you have to show that. Because like you said, some of these kids, some of these men don't have anybody
mm-hmm.
to talk to call on. Mm-hmm. So maybe they coming to tell you how their day was, or mm-hmm. Or how the lunch was, or So I commend you on that because. Yeah. Even in those type of environments, people think, oh, well, you threw your life away. I don't care. I'm just here. I'm just,
right,
exactly. Y'all don't care.
That's how they come at them, and you can't come at them that way because everybody have a different story to why they're in there.
Right.
And why you're in here has nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. I don't judge you off of your charge because you got someone who's true to it and you got someone who are not. Some of them are just there because they probably was set up or was falsely accused or something. There's so many reasons why a lot of them in there.
Right.
I wasn't scared of them because guess what? You did what you did for whatever reason. It had nothing to do with me. Because I was around killers. I really was around them. And even outside of that, some of them, it was bold to tell me their story. What made them do what they did. And all you could do is say, like, damn.
Right.
That's it. Like,
but you trust in me. You trust in me.
So I've had someone who really told me what happened. Like, look, honestly, and they would sit there and say, honestly, I'd do it again. Oh, wow. Okay, so you hungry?
You want some Skittles?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, but I definitely commend you on that because that also shows who you are as a person, mm-hmm. and that shows that you have a big heart at the end of the day. No matter what, you still care about your inmates. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you.
Shout out to you, girl.
I do want to ask, can you tell us the steps or classes to go about acquiring a concealed carry permit and what are the costs?
All right, so a concealed handgun permit, a lot of people don't know what that is. Of course, in Louisiana, right now, you still do need a permit to conceal carry.
Y'all hear that?
Yes, you need a permit to conceal carry. So that's first and foremost. It's a 9-hour class. It's state mandated. A lot of people say, well, why so long? Look, that's state mandated. It has nothing to do with me. Right. The state requires it to be 9 hours. Me, I do give the full 9 hours because you are paying to be here. That's first and foremost. So mm-hmm. the charge is $150. The range fee and everything already comes out there. I'm going to make sure I give you all the knowledge that you need within that class. I also even give people their pamphlets to make sure they have the laws in front of them. That's the most important part to me is knowing your law. Knowing when you are right and wrong or justified in self-defense. Too many men and women in jail right now because for them it was self-defense, but by law it wasn't self-defense. Mm-hmm. I want everyone who is my students to know that. I always open up the doors for them to still contact me after the fact with any more questions. Outside of the 9-hour class, you basically do your application with the state. You have to do a background check, of course. If you're approved, then it gets submitted right in the mail. You pay for it with the state, which is $125. They send your permit within the mail. Everyone that I've trained within the last year, they've got their permit really within the last 2 weeks. Like, it's been quick for them to get their permit.
I was just about to ask that. How long does it take?
Yeah, some people say it takes long. Like, I've had instructors say, well, it took my person 3-4 months. Well, I don't know, sir. Mine's only take 2 weeks. I don't know what you're telling them to do, but I know what I tell mine to do. They do it and they get theirs back quick.
I need that. We going to take your class.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
let you know. We both need it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we definitely
I'm into carrying. Because, and honestly, probably within the next few months to a year, we may go to constitutional carry. And I tell people, even outside of Louisiana, going to constitutional carry, that permit is still needed, because if you decide to travel state lines, you need a permit to conceal carry to different states. Our permit is reciprocated within 30 different states. I want to carry in all the states that I go to. I don't care about just carrying Louisiana. I care about carrying when I travel too. It's dangerous when you travel. So you want to make sure that you can travel in the states. So 38 states you can also travel in with that permit. And then also, if that does happen and pass, there are going to be certain places where you could conceal carry at one point. They're going to have stipulations, so unless you have that permit, you can't conceal carry. Now I tell people, so you still want that permit. So
you said constitution carry. What is that?
So that'll be permitless carry. So you have certain states, they started going permitless carry, so well, you can just carry. You don't need a permit to carry anymore. Right. So granted, we were supposed to do that in Louisiana probably last year, but it was blocked. It was vetoed because, of course, all our cops from NOPD, all of them, they went to BR and said, nope, y'all making our job too hard. We don't want that. But I promise it's going to end up still, they're going to try it again, and it's probably go through. I wouldn't be either.
I would not be surprised. I know we talked about this earlier, but what measures do you think parents should take to ensure that no child gains access to firearms?
First and foremost, training themselves. So that's first and foremost. We have a lot of parents who are buying firearms and not getting properly trained themselves to even know how to prevent these accidents from happening. So once you train yourself, you will know exactly what you need to do to keep your child from even accessing that firearm. So get yourself some training. Outside of getting yourself some training, that child should also have training as well, because we're no longer teaching our children, stop, don't touch that. Like, that's not a toy. We're not teaching our children that. We're looking at it as a blind eye, or they're not going to touch it. We're being extremely ignorant about the matter, and that's not how it's supposed to go. Your child's never supposed to have access to that firearm at all. That's first and foremost. So being able to properly lock that firearm up, being able to let them know that this is not a toy. You don't play with this. Like, they need to know these type of things, because they are already introduced to firearms indirectly. From music to TV shows to videos, they're already introduced to it indirectly. So getting them the proper training, we need to do that. We trying to hide this from our children, because we feel, oh, well, kids are getting harmed this week. Yeah, they're getting harmed because they're not being taught. Right. Children are very curious. You tell them not to press the button, they're going to press the button. Right. They're curious. Right. So outside of that, you need to actually beat that curiosity ahead of time. As I have a 7-year-old, we sit there, we do proper training with her, and we let her know, this is not a toy. Mommy carries this for self-defense. Mommy carries this for protect us. She understands that. If I'm about to go to the store, Mommy, you got your gun? She knows why. She knows what it's for. She knows what I'm supposed to use it for. And I respect that the most about her, because she literally knows that it's not a toy. I can't play with that. Yeah. She understands that. But you have to constantly do it. You have some people feel like, oh, well, you teach them this, they never remember. I could teach an adult the same thing and they're not going to remember. This is repetition. Right. Like, you have to keep doing it over and over and over again for them to grasp it. Like,
that's good that you're open and honest with your daughter, just because, like you said, I feel like parents hide it, and your kids, once you go to work or once you go out the door, your kids gonna be roaming the closet. What the shoe boxes, the shoes mama got, these blue shoes. Let me open this shoe box, and then you see the gun, and that's when, and that's why I wanted to ask, because I know recently it was, I forgot who it was, but they were like, did you see that video of the kids playing with the gun? And I didn't see the video, and I don't want to see it because I don't want to see anything like that, but they were on live or something like that.
I posted it on Instagram. I actually took it down like 3 separate times.
Really?
Yes, it took down 3 separate times because they said it went against guidelines. Now, things like that I use as teaching moments.
Teaching moments, right.
Because it's extremely a teaching moment, because first and foremost, this was the house party with nothing but adults. I'm trying to figure out who adult the gun was for, because in actuality, why your gun wasn't on you.
Right.
That's first and foremost. Your gun should have been on you. Second of all, why nobody was watching them? Because they shouldn't even be in a household where they're not even being watched. Like, nobody went to look to see where they at, why they not around, or what's going on.
Red flag. Let me tell you something. I don't have kids, but red flag when your kids are too quiet in the house. You need to go see what they're doing because they're getting into something they shouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
But you said that it was an adult party?
Yes, it was a whole party.
Why are the kids even there in the first place?
Exactly.
And they were on live, right?
Mm-hmm. They were on
live.
So the way it was, the girl, she's sitting there, she playing with the gun. So this was a regular pistol. She was playing with it. It had a drum on it.
And what is that?
So a drum basically it's a magazine. It's a circle magazine, circular, and it holds about 30 to 50 rounds, depending on which one you want to get. So that one motor show held 30 rounds. So first off, why you even need that many rounds? I don't know. People act like it's gonna be shootouts. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But we gonna get back to that. But that's the thing now too, where people are putting magazines and drums and guns that don't really or shouldn't.
Well, in the state of Louisiana, we do not have a magazine capacity, so it's not illegal.
Oh, okay.
It's not illegal, and that's the thing. It's not so. But because they're doing it, they're gonna end up probably legalizing it because they're doing it inappropriately.
Right.
Like that's the issue. But going back to the children, her hand was inside the trigger guard, basically. So her hand was already on the trigger. They're not being taught how to properly handle firearms. Because I tell people, even if you don't have one within your household, your child should be taught. Because if they go around someone like that who do have them, that's what can happen. That's what happened. Her finger was on the trigger. She sat there and said, wow, blow your brains off.
Who said that?
She said it to her cousin.
Yeah, shot her cousin.
Right. Now, granted, you can tell she did in a playful manner. But the prosecution would have looked at it that way. They wouldn't have, because they would have sat there and said you had intent, because even outside of saying that, you did pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. But then going back to it, she didn't know that would happen either.
Right.
Kids supposed to know these type of things. If you have guns, they should know this. They should know what can happen if that trigger is pulled. That's why proper gun handling is important. Actually, just showing them what it can do is important, because they need to know this. Like I said, they're curious, and there's nothing wrong with them being curious. We do them a disservice by not actually beating that curiosity before it happens. I met a juvenile. He was 19, and he's been in since he was 13, because he basically accidentally killed his best friend.
Oh.
And he's traumatized from that. I don't feel like he should be in that. He needs to be in therapy, honestly. Like, he needs to really go through therapy, but he has to go through that, and it's sad because they're not being taught how to properly handle a firearm. I mean, outside of them just seeing it there, they need to be able to, touch it, hold it, see the mechanics of it, see what it does. They really do. People feel like they shouldn't be, but I mean, how many people sit there and put their kid on their lap and just drive around the neighborhood?
Right.
We do that.
Right.
So why not actually just give them a proper training of a firearm?
So what age do you think that parents should start, teaching their child about firearms?
When they show interest. Because you have a lot of parents whose kids could be 3 and 4 who may need to start learning at that age versus that 7, 8-year-old who never show interest at all. And it really does happen. I come across a lot of parents whose kids are into Fortnite, they're into Grand Theft Auto, and they're into Call of Duty, into all these type of games. And I tell them, I say, if your child is into stuff like that, you do them best to bring them to a gun range to see what the gun actually does.
Right.
Like, you really do. Because you have some of them who look at that and do it and be like, oh, wait, I didn't know it was like this. And they don't like it.
But then the thing with that is, sorry to cut you off, but even with that, with the video games and stuff like that, people come back to life on video games.
It's giving them misperception. So you have them thinking that that's what happened. That's why I say they need to learn that that's not what's going to happen. They really need to learn it. They need to see what it actually looks like to shoot. They need to know what it feels like to sit there and combat all of that curiosity. Therefore, if they like it, cool. That's something that you probably can do with your kid on a regular basis. Get all of that out. And if they don't like it, you know that they're not going to touch it. It can go either way. But you sat there and you taught them and you actually took them to get the proper training.
Right.
And the awareness of it, just so they can know. You don't have to play with it, but you like you said with your daughter knows when your voice gets stern into a certain level. She knows this. It's still, like you said, it's the knowledge and the child still knowing, even if they don't want to be, bothered with it, they still have
right.
to know.
You know, because think about it. Back when we was all in middle school and all of that, we did DARE. They had all of that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We did sex ed. They had all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you never, think about the fact that we never did any type of gun courses.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, they don't do any of that within our community, and that
Mm-hmm.
needs to be brought to the community to get them away from that. You got more kids into guns than into drugs.
No, really.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even with the gun violence that they have and these shooters going on, going in these schools, you know what I'm saying? It's terrible.
And that's the thing, though. I mean, you gotta think about, how many teenage mothers do we all actually know? Like, you probably have 1 or 2 girls outside of high school that actually probably get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the 1 or 2, probably all of the guys who didn't probably touch their first body at the age of 12 or 13. And they're traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
I explain to a lot of parents, your child could be living a double life and you don't even know it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Right, you don't even know it. Imagine your child being traumatized at 12 or 13 because they caught their first body and they're a completely different person than what you used to them being. So now we as adult women got to deal with the trauma of somebody who dealt with that, but we don't even know why they're like that.
Right.
Because they didn't bury that part of themselves so deep. So now they're walking around traumatized because they keep seeing this person in their head and they don't know why. Mm-hmm. These are things that our kids are going through too. Mm-hmm. They are catching their first bodies really early because you have adults telling them, "Oh, go do this. You gotta do this." Mm-hmm. It's a lot of different things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my next question: how often should you clean your firearm, and what are some other things you think are important about upkeep of a gun or firearm?
All right. So you should clean your firearm every time you use it. Every time you go to a gun range and you train or whatever it might be, you're supposed to use it because the same way with a car, you got to keep it nice and clean for it to work properly when it's supposed to. I have some people who don't even clean their guns often, and I tell them, if you don't clean your gun often, then they may come to a point where you may actually have to use it and don't properly work because you haven't cleaned it.
Right.
That ammunition leaves it behind like a residue, and that residue is all in the barrel of your gun. It gets gunky after a while,
and that's what causes it to jam.
Mm-hmm.
Because people get guns, and I'm interested in getting a gun, so I need to know. I need to know all the what's the upkeep, what's the do's, what's the don'ts, the stuff that people don't ask, and that's why I haven't gotten one yet because I want to be informed, so that way when I'm once I'm about to go get my gun, I know this is what I gotta do, this is what I don't do, all that, and like you said. This is where you come into play because you teaching us this, and nobody's here to really teach us this, or nobody has taught us this, and everybody's just buying guns. I got my Glock, I got my, I got my evidence, so everybody, buying guns, which, like you said, it goes back to people don't know the ins and outs of having a gun. Mm-hmm. So, that was definitely a question I needed to ask because I'm I race. So once I get my gun, how often do I need to clean it?
And even if you don't desire to clean it on your own, you could bring it to a gun store. They clean it for no more than $10, $20.
Oh, okay.
And we all know how to wash our own car. Doesn't mean we do it. I mean,
right.
I mean, it's the same we do. So there's places that actually just clean your guns for you. So you can always do that as well. You got to keep it nice and clean.
So you say your guns have names?
Yes, they all have names. Yes. I like to make sure that they have names because it helps me give them their own personality. Because they do. Because like I said, every gun they're made for something different. I have smaller guns. I have bigger guns. I have guns that's when I want to wear nice little short skirts. I have one to where I want to basically wear something looser. I have a shotgun. I got an AR. I have all different types of them because they all meant for different things.
So you got a big bird? No, big bird.
I have them all. I got them all.
How many guns do you have in total?
8 or 9. 8 or 9. And that's just for right now because I still plan on adding to the collection.
Yeah.
Did you go to the recent gun show that they had?
She was there.
I was actually there.
Yeah, she had a table.
Yes.
Girl.
Yes, I had set up there and I was the only black person. I didn't say black person, but black, organization there. Everyone else was
because we gotta get it together.
I know, and I had so many black women stop and they say, "Hold up, wait, I won't even come in this way." And I thought about it and I just walked around oh my God, I'm so glad I've seen you. Mm-hmm. And it was nice.
Yes.
It was nice.
Yeah, she was there.
Yes, representation really matters, especially in this world, because the gun world is It's not so friendly to us.
Mm-hmm.
It never has been. Gun laws really are racist, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that because right now, the way I always explain it to people, we cannot carry within a government building. And I people say, well, yeah, I never really thought about that. I say, well, guess what? Before the Black Panthers, you used to be able to carry in a government building. I know. And I told people, I said, if we go back to when firearms was really heavy in our community, when the Black Panthers was alive and well, that's when they was doing everything they was supposed to do. They actually did gun safety training within the community at that point. They was part of the NRA. They did all of that type of stuff. But see, of course, when they, wiped them out, all of that went out the window.
So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years, elevating our community way more than what I'm doing now. Like, I'm trying to really push as hard as I can. I'm trying to basically collaborate with more firearm instructors in the community and get more female firearm instructors as well, because right now I'm the only Black female firearm instructor in New Orleans. We have, they do have white ones. They don't have any Black ones. My main focus is our community and making sure our community is properly trained. Within the last 2 years, Black women is the largest growing rate of gun owners. And outside of being that, we need our own to train our own, because you can only relate to your own.
Right.
It's true.
Like, you really could. Right now, with the crime that's going in New Orleans, Black women are being affected by it. Like, white women, yeah, they're scared, yeah, they have things going on, but they're not being targeted the way we are, because it's our own community, our own sons and little brothers and cousins that's doing it to us.
Yes.
They're doing it to us because we're the ones who are not carrying. They know carrying. So they know carrying. In that perk, you're definitely right. And when it comes to us, and that's why I tell a lot of women, because we all like to dress all nice and tight and tightest clothes. Baby, look, I don't have time to dress like that at this point no more, because I'm going to wear a loose shirt or something like that, because I'm going to wear my gun. I'm never going to not wear it. And if I can't go somewhere where I can't wear it, then at that point I'm just not going. If I can get in there, I'm going to get it in there. But if I can't wear it, absolutely just can't do it, I'm not going in, because I like being able to protect myself. I really do. Like, I would not be a sitting duck walking places. That's just me.
I respect it.
I respect it too.
I definitely respect it.
I respect everything you got going on, because it's extremely important, and the knowledge is extremely important, especially for us, because we don't know. So I thank you, and I appreciate you for what you got going on, and we're gonna be registering for a class.
Yeah, we are. We are. Because we definitely need that.
Right.
We definitely need that. So you coming on here, and I see why people gravitate to you, because you make them feel comfortable about what you do. And like I said, you're passionate about what you do. So us, you're very knowledgeable. And for me, I'm like, okay, I don't see myself taking a class with anybody else. And even before we got you on here, I was already following you.
I've been so
and I was like, okay, whenever I'm ready, this is what I'm going to. But now it's more of like, you open that door to make people feel comfortable. You have these examples of like, okay, well, you're scared of a gun, but you sit here and you listen to fireworks, you pop fireworks, and I feel like you're very passionate about what you do, and I appreciate that, because this is something that women need.
It is, and you know what? I do pride myself on making people comfortable, because it's an uncomfortable situation.
That's
already.
very true.
So I have to make them comfortable. I have to understand everything when it comes to it, because not only are you sitting there going into a world that's not kind to us,
right?
You're basically starting to understand yourself in a different perspective too, because you have so many women who don't have the mindset of protecting themselves. A lot of us look up to our old man to be like, well, I know he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
we all look at,
true.
Like, I'm very confident in mine. I know what he can do. I've seen him fight. I've seen all of that. I know what he can do. At the end of the day, what if he need me?
Right. Or what if he ain't there?
Or what if he's not there? And a lot of us, tend to be single mothers too. Who's wanna save your child?
Right.
I'm not calling 911. I'm gonna do it. My daughter knew for a fact that mommy's gonna come behind her. I'm coming. I'm not going to sit there and wait for nobody to come and protect my child. I gave birth to that. I carried that. I fed that. I'm doing all of that. I'm going to do it. And I want her to know that. There's so many girls who honestly don't have that respect for their parents, because they feel like their parents wasn't there to protect them in a lot of situations. A lot of situations. We deal with that trauma within our community, and women don't feel protected. So imagine not being able to protect yourself because no one else has done it. So I tell every woman, you take that back. You you stand on your own 2 feet and you protect yourself. Don't worry about what he, she, or they can do. Worry about what you can do. Because I'm going to do it.
I love it.
Me too.
I love it.
I love this episode. I'm so happy you came on here. I'm so happy you gave us your time because, like I said, the women watching, because we have a lot of women followers that watch.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have a gun, come see her.
Please.
Yes.
Come see her.
Mm-hmm. And y'all, she gave us some goodie baby.
Yes, this our. Yo, we love goodies.
I'm about to open it. Let's see what they got. Oh, at the bottom. I'm disruptive. Ooh. First of all, socks. Socks.
Yo,
I'm a brand
cute.
type person. When
Yes.
I go around, I am
she's
a brand.
I
love it.
I'm
I
a
like
brand.
that. She said she's a brand. As she should be. See, let's talk about it. And we just
Let's get into it.
I'm a brand.
This is so pretty. I love this.
Mhm.
I
love
I don't
this.
even want to open my bag. It's so pretty.
I said what I said. It's I'm destructive.
Thank you
I'm
so
destructive.
much.
Yes, thank you so
But before you go, we gotta have some fun. We just got down to the nitty gritty, the business. And shout out to Fiance, he's behind the scenes supporting. He's behind the scenes supporting. We love supporters.
Yes.
All right, so
Let's see.
we'll pick 2.
All right.
All right, so you pick and just hand it. Don't look at it.
Okay. All right, hold on. All right, I got 1. Oh, man.
Oh my God. Fiance, I'm so sorry. Close your ears. Close your ears. Do you have a sex toy? If so, describe your relationship with it.
I have a few sex toys.
A few. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Do you have a favorite?
My rabbit.
Rabbit.
Yes, my rabbit.
I never heard that. I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know. It just stimulates a clit. Like I'm a clit girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sweating a little bit.
You have some?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Oh, you don't?
Why?
No.
I just have
You
one.
gotta
Whatever.
learn your body.
I don't have any.
The best type of sex is the sex with yourself because you know what you enjoy.
With toys? What toys do y'all recommend? I don't have any toys.
Mine is called the butterfly.
The butterfly?
The butterfly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into these too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need some.
I'm scared of the rabbit. I don't know what the rabbit is. I have no idea what the rabbit is.
You have to, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna write this down. I got homework from earlier, and I got homework now.
The butterfly and the rabbit.
The butterfly. I'm gonna let y'all know.
Alright.
If you had to marry a guy today who, I mean, yo, this question.
Beyonce behind
She
the
has a plan.
scenes.
Yeah, so I'm just going to discard that.
Alright. Go over here. Okay.
If your sex life was a movie, what kind of movie would it be?
Oh, shit.
These cards like sex talk, apparently.
God damn it.
Very hard question.
It is a hard question because I'm trying to think about different movies.
We could let her pick another one because that's we gonna. Oh no. Oh, you going to?
Alright, I'm gonna come up here in the beginning. I see this one right here.
Please don't be about sex. Okay, great. Who do you feel a man should put first? His mother or his girlfriend? Explain. Or in your case, fiance.
I would say it's a tough question, but it's not. I would say me. And it's only because I also seen from his mother perspective too. Because anything happens, she look at me like, that's your responsibility, ain't mine.
He's looking like, that's right.
Like literally, I can call him and be like, girl, cause your son, she be like, hold up, that's my checks. That's your man. You deal with it. So I am gonna say me because outside of everything else, by the time we didn't sit there and we didn't put everything together,
Because your girlfriend is like your protector, your business partner, your mama, everything all the time.
Right.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm gonna say me.
Yeah, I agree. And that's only to be fair, because it's like, okay, if you have a child with this person and you get serious and you having a family, okay, you can't always put your mom first. You can't always do that, because his mom has her life, and then you have your family. Okay, you need to put us first.
Right.
You need to put us first. So, because if you're not gonna put us first, you go live with her. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Like if I gotta come to the second, or my mom got a bill that needs to be paid right quick. That's not a problem. You live in his household.
Right.
Pay these bills first. Now what you got left over, you can help.
Right.
But outside of that, that's not a priority. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. We love you, moms.
But please, I love her.
But yeah, that is the end. We definitely appreciate you for coming. We definitely appreciate for the gems you drop in, and thank you. We appreciate
Well, thank you for inviting me, though.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this.
Yes, we enjoy having you.
We enjoy having you. We love girl bosses. That's one thing about us. We all for you.
Thank you.
But before we go, tell the people where they can find you. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Instagram, nullifier_firearms training. If not, you can just look it up at Brionne Davis. So.
And so that's same for Twitter and TikTok. Oh, do you have Twitter?
Girl, Twitter, I'm trying to adjust to Twitter. It's not what it used to be.
It's not. It ain't it right now. I think TikTok is the thing right now.
Yeah, let me say it. And I said I was going to start back on TikTok, but having a 7-year-old who always want to be on TikTok, it'll be videos for the purse. So I haven't even bothered with TikTok because she's on TikTok. Like I literally had to.
Yes, my page.
I know I had to private the page because she's always making a TikTok. So the page is private.
And y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Natalie Lucia _.
And y'all can follow me at Instagram and TikTok at Your Faithful Realtor.
All right,
y'all. We gonna see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.